Your name was on that elite list quite a bit this summer. How does that happen? What do you do to get?
Do I pick up the mic or
no? You're good.
I'm good. Okay. So the elite list, it's just about being an elite player, having an elite work ethic, and elevating your teammates, elevating yourself, and getting better. Challenging yourself and challenging your teammates. It's not just about on the field or in the weight room. It's about the classroom too. It's about taking care of your teammates, taking care of yourself, and just really holding the standard, doing things that's not asked of you, that's not required, but things you want to do.
As someone who's been with the program just a handful of months, what was that transition like to kind of learn what the standard was, or did you kind of already know it?
You're going to learn more by looking, than you are listening and speaking. So I do a lot of observing, and I also listen, to the captains, and, to the people who've been here 4 years and who know what it takes. Have conversations, get to know them, and then just follow suit.
Well, what's kind of your emotion or maybe your excitement level as you head into fall camp? I mean, it's a new opportunity, new team for you.
I'm super excited. Like, going into my last year. I play, and work with a chip on my shoulder always, but it's something about this year that gives me the chills. Just want to be my best, and I want to have fun doing it.
Do you have any specific goals for this fall camp season?
Just the only expectation for myself is to go forward and not backward, and to have fun.
So, what do you make of this team? There's a lot of confidence. They haven't had a ton of success on the field, but as a guy who's seen other teams, been on other teams, what do you make of what this team can do?
Well, I've been there since January. Awakenings, the team commitment week, community service, movies together. Like, this team is closer and closer. You know what I'm saying? And the more time we spend with each other, the more hours we spend in here, the more hours we spend in the film room, and that's the foundation. For our success is when we go to war with each other and knowing that we got each other back.
How have you and Isaiah grown as guys who came in here, just ready to work with Coach Rule and kind of giving this program a chance?
Yeah, we've been intentional about the way we work, and when we work and we walk the walk, then it makes it easier, to hold other guys accountable and to be leaders. But Isaiah and I have, we've been in the film room, we've been on the field, just giving it our all, and letting everything else take care of itself.
Do you guys feel like you have a different bond because you're both guys that just came in, or is it just a group thing?
It's a group thing. Yeah, it's a group thing.
Was it difficult coming in somewhere and then being asked to kind of assume a leadership role or looking to assume a leadership role when you haven't been around these guys? And like you said, you just got here in January.
Well, I feel like I'm a servant leader in life, and football, like we said, this is bigger than football, and so taking on that role, I knew what I was, getting myself into. I found myself being a leader at Wake Forest. I found myself being a leader in my family, amongst my friends, and it wasn't a big take, a big role.
Was that something, Jahmal, where you felt like it was being asked of you, like the staff had that expectation for you from day one to come in and be a leader among a lot of young receivers, or was it solely something that you decided you needed to do?
Definitely something I decided to do. Although it was mentioned, me having a veteran guys, it's almost like this, this assumption that a vet, has to be a leader. But I think you can be a leader anywhere on the field, from a freshman to a senior. And so,
how did you do that at the beginning when you're still learning names and you're out there at the same time trying to lead them? What did that look like, from day one?
It looked like working hard. It looked like having my teammates back. It looked like picking up after my teammates. It looked like starting the conversation. Just being a great teammate. And when you have great teammates, like I said, the foundation is to have a brotherhood, a close team, a strong team, a team that refuses to be beat.
Is it a lot different now that I'm sure know everybody a lot better, a lot more vocal in what you can do?
Nah, definitely. I definitely a lot more vocal. You know, we during those conditioning periods, you know, when everybody's tired and everybody feel like they can't do it no more, you know, just a constant reminders that we can, you know what I'm saying, and that we got to rest strong and show no weakness.
Jahmal, how is this offense going to be this year?
Explosive. Offense is going to be explosive. Offense is going to be, you know, like a well-oiled machine, and you know, full of big plays, great blocking, great protection.
And what gives you the confidence that big plays are going to happen and there's going to be, you know, what you just described?
Yeah, like I said, the work that we put in. You know what I'm saying? Our confidence, you know, comes from the process, and you know, we're just going to continue to take it day by day, step by step.
And what do you hope to contribute in the scheme of this offense? Like, what can fans expect from you this year?
Yeah, to play hard, make plays, and yeah, be a good teammate.
Do you have numbered goals in mind?
Not necessarily. I mean, I could write down. You know, I've written down 1,000 yards. I've written down, you know, all conference, but you know, none of that matters if we don't win. You know what I'm saying? And so the biggest thing is to win and make winning plays. So if there's a collective group, you know, making winning plays, and you know, we're not divided, we're together, then you know, we're probably going to be the ones doing the conquering.
And we've seen such a limited sample of Dylan. You've obviously seen a bunch playing in the summer and what have you. What can fans expect from Dylan, and what kind of player is he? Seeing that you've caught balls from a whole bunch of quarterbacks in his career.
You know, Dylan's a freshman, but you know, he's beyond his years, and you know, I look for him to, whoever the starting quarterback is going to be. I'm really not sure. You know, Coach Rule said he plans to have 3 starting quarterbacks, but as for Dylan, you know, he has great poise. You know, he's confident. He knows who he is. He knows where he comes from, and you know, what he's been around. He wants to be the best, and he knows he can be. And so he's gonna be fine on all cylinders.
Yeah, he carries himself like one of the guys Coach Rule said. Is that true? I mean, because he could have a real big head on his shoulder.
Yeah, and it's imperative how you carry yourself. But I also can speak to his humility, the way he works, the way he treats us, and the way he wants the success for not just himself but for the collective.
Jahmal, I was working with him this summer.
Are you familiar with the single-digit jerseys?
Oh yeah.
Is that a goal for you to try to earn one of those numbers here over the course of fall camp?
Yeah. So for me, the goal is about being my best self and being the best teammate that I can be. And if you know the fruits of my labor, you know, succeeds a single digit, then I'll be honored to wear one.
Jahmal, I'm guessing that you didn't have to stay in the dorms during camp at Wake Forest. Is that right?
So at first it was kind of switched. At first it was everybody had to stay on campus, and then he allowed the off campus guys to kind of commute. So I'm not sure if they changed it again this year, but I stayed on campus for 3 years. So for 3 years I was on campus.
But were you in a dorm?
Yeah, I was in a dorm.
Oh, you were.
Yeah.
So you're okay with this?
Yeah, I don't mind. You know, I love this is what family about. You know what I'm saying? All being together, coming home to the same place, leaving from the same place. You know what I'm saying? Just it's good. It's good for the type of work that we do, for the type of field that we in. So
Jahmal, I was getting extra work with Dylan this summer. So what was that like?
Yeah, it's fun. You know, it wasn't just all about ball. It was about getting to know each other. It was about having fun. It's about building chemistry. But it's been really fun to have a guy like him in the building. Is special, and you know, he doesn't just learn from me and on the football field and in life, but I also learn from him.
Did y'all go down to Texas together?
Yeah, I was down there.
How was that experience?
It was super fun. His mom is an amazing woman, and just being invited, and spending that time down there, it was a great experience. And then I got to meet one of his coaches. He's a very intellectual guy and knows what he's talking about.
Talking about Coach Christensen?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that was his name.
What did you guys do on that trip, other than obviously go out and practice a little bit, play some ball?
We spent some time at the pool. We spent some time around each other, watching movies and just hanging out.
You there for what, a weekend or?
Yeah, a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that did that come as a surprise? That I know times are different today in college football. You know, like freshmen probably doesn't have the resources in the past to be able to fly as receivers. You know, down to Texas. But that said, as a senior, like, did that come as a surprise that like that weekend was even something that existed?
I mean, he had texted me about it like the week before, and I mean, I guess you can say a surprise, but I mean, for me, I'm not gonna, you know, sugarcoat. Like, it really wasn't a surprise. I was just excited to be able to go on that trip and spend time with my teammates.
What's the competition been like between wide receivers and defensive backs this summer? Obviously, a lot of young guys, a lot of raw talent in there. Ever get chippy at all?
No, I get chippy all the time. You know, that's what we do. You know, we want competition. We want to compete. When that ball in the air, it's nothing but competition. And so repping that between, you know, the offense and defense is something that we take pride in and that we want.
I'm curious, have you gone against Sierra Wright yet?
I've gone against Sierra in 7-on-7 for sure.
How has he blended in as a defensive back? I mean, obviously he has a lot of experience. I mean, what have you seen from him just early?
He shows great knowledge for the game. You know, even though he's a little smaller, like he's very physical and he has quick feet, and so he uses that to his advantage.
Did you watch him in Space Jam?
I actually didn't. I don't remember him in Space Jam, but if I go back and be like, oh,
he was LeBron's son. Right?
No, I didn't put two and two together until I seen it on social media. But I did see Space Jam, so I did see him in the past.
What have you seen from Nebraska's kind of younger wide receivers this summer that sort of been working with you?
Yeah, I've seen extreme growth, like just, you know, the will to strengthen the weaknesses, the will to give it their all, leave nothing in the tank, and then, you know, realizing from a mental aspect, when you give everything you got, if you want some more in the tank, there is, you know what I'm saying, in terms of conditioning, in terms of in the weight room, and then just the you know, the will to just to be the best, like, you know what I'm saying, the confidence and the grit, you know, from the young guys, and it's been cool to see.
How's Ja'Cory blending into that room? Obviously coming in, but does he act like a freshman at all?
Nah, Ja'Cory, I mean, he play around sometimes, but, you know, everybody play around. But you know, he a rookie and a vet. You know, he's extremely explosive, extremely fast, and he worked extremely hard. You know, Ja'Cory is one of the most competitive people I've ever been around, which is why we kind of click so much. Like, I'm a competitor as well, and you're gonna see some great things out of that young man.
What's it like playing for Coach McGuire?
Coach McGuire, he's special. Like, he expects the absolute best, and, you know, he gives us confidence even when we don't have it in ourselves. And you know, he loves football. He loves us. He tells us all the time, like it's my mom, and my parents, and football. My parents and you guys. And to have a coach like that around us, pushing us every day. He was you know, here most of the summer. You know what I'm saying? Just being available, being around us. And so he's one of those guys you want on your team.
Did you get to meet him, know him well at all before you decided that? Was he part of the decision for you to want to come here?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was. So it was Fish, Coach Fish, and then Coach G was the second person I was on the phone with. And so just having his, you know, aura on the phone, trying to get me to Nebraska, I definitely felt it.
For those who haven't gotten to watch your game on film at all, what do you bring to the table? What's going to stand out when Husker fans watch you?
So I bring, you know, catching the ball, you know, big, short catching, good blocking, 50-50 balls, red zone threat. You know, that the guy you can count on third down to make a play. And
you had talked about, I think it was in the media availability in December, about the NFL coaching staff and how important that was. Why is that so important? Obviously, the reason is because you want to get to the league, but you know, to pull you from a place like Lake Forest, why was that so important?
Well, you know, I have a couple. Well, I speak about A.T. Perry, who was drafted to the Saints in the 5th round. He spoke how imperative it was from transitioning to college to the NFL as far as concepts and you know, learning schemes. And I feel like Nebraska does a great job of that. You know, the terminology is relatively the same, and me having conversations with AT and him telling about our offense, it correlates really well. And then obviously like the route tree and running the routes that the scouts want to see. I feel like, you know, they have a very great route repertoire here, and I get to showcase that along with my teammates. So.
Sorry if you've been asked about this. What stands out about Dylan Raiola's game?
His poise as a young quarterback. Poise as a young quarterback.
Jahmal, are you running the slow mesh in the video game?
I have once. I haven't really played it much. Actually, I don't even have the game yet. But I have played on my teammates' system, so yeah, it's almost like a cheat code.
Besides fitting in the offense, how important was it for you these last few months to fit in with the team and you know, earn their trust because you know Saturdays are right around the corner?
Yeah, it was very imperative for me. You know, it was my #1 priority, and that involved getting better. That involved, you know, challenging myself. That involved, you know, showing great humility. So it involved my lifestyle, and so it wasn't a big problem. It was just something, you know, that I was, you know, working towards, and still are, you know, still am.
One more for Jahmal.
Jahmal, how was the portal experience?
It was. I heard somebody say it was like speed dating. Like, it was. I went visited. I had like 5 official visits in like 8 days or something like that. And
where all did you go?
I went to Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Purdue, Minnesota, and then my last one was Nebraska. And so it was, you know, I ate a lot of steak, put on a lot of weight, you know, met a lot of great people too. Met a lot of great coaches, a lot of great, you know, athletes, families. Like, it was cool, you know, to see the different schools, what they had to offer, you know, their best attribute or best feature, and you know, what they wanted to showcase to me as to why that I should choose their school. But ultimately, I could only make one decision. But it was, I think the biggest part about that was just the, you know, connecting with different people and seeing different perspectives and different coaches.
All right, that's all the time we have for Jahmal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.